Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated top of the morning Monday for the for the United States High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts with our very own St. Louis and Dave Aronberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while. I feel like I've been out of commission for a little bit, so I'm going to try to rev the engines up again.
It's like riding a bicycle, man. Once you start, man, yeah, you have at it, man. So, without further ado, you know that I know that you played with the select ball out there at Ladue, if I'm not mistaken, huh?
100%.
And it's a round ball. There ain't no square to it, and it's a round ball. And hopefully, some of your lads will need some help in gearing up for the next level of college with Ziggy College Planning, our Nagel College Planning, and our Coolidge College.com. Is that this guy, Coolidge, is, with our guy Eddie O, he's unbelievable. So all these things we got going, and I don't know if you know it or not, but since you've been gone, the Whales got a national sponsor.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of like the voice of the movement. And so if you want to get this, you can go where you go and Whales certified, or if you're on the platform Coolidge USHSCL United States High School Champions League.com, that Coolidge has a platform, and you go to the sponsor Whales certified, you'll get this right here and there.
That's amazing. I had no idea, Whales. Look at you.
Well, so you do it here, and then my people take it and we do it over there.
Love it.
All right, then. So without further ado, like I said, it's long-awaited, highly anticipated. Have at it.
Well, I thought today would be a nice day to wrap up the World Cup, since the World Cup just finished. Did you watch?
No.
Oh, Wales. Okay. Well, you got to say congrats to Spain. Spain was amazing, start to finish. I guess maybe their only hiccup was tying Cape Verde in their first game, but never was down the entire tournament. And I think, whenever a team wins the World Cup, there's always the reaction of, well, like, how can we play like Spain now? And I think you're gonna see a lot of things come out, like, play like Spain. And my retort would be good luck. So when I watch Spain play, and I think when most people watch Spain play, what you're seeing is the highest of levels of both technical and tactical knowledge. The France game to me was really an eye-opener when I watched them play France, and I think everyone was expecting France to win because France was the more athletic team. The way that Spain was able to just dissect a high press, it was amazing. And so, yes, everyone would like to play like Spain, but the secret sauce is that all of those players, not just a handful of players, not just one or two, all of their players are top-notch technical and tactical players. Like, everyone was on the same page. Their work rate when they lose the ball is amazing. So it's not just, hey, do a bunch of rondos and you're going to be able to play like Spain. That is, I'm sure, years and years of work going all the way back down to their youth system that has produced what they're doing on this World Cup. So that was kind of my first takeaway just on the World Cup stage. And then, some thoughts about the World Cup. I think, obviously, because the eyes of the world and especially our high school kids are watching the World Cup, typically, the kids like to mimic what they see the professionals doing. And one thing that really stuck out to me, and Wales as a keeper, I don't know if this stuck out to you too, but the penalty shots in this World Cup were maybe the worst I'd seen. Were you able to see any of that part of it, Wales, with the penalty shots that you were kind of head scratching?
Just back and forth, I see it, and wow,
Well, so I like to do numbers. The numbers bear it out. This year, if my numbers are correct, 39 out of 60 PKs were converted. So that's only 65%, which you would assume professionals are going to be making it much better. And I have what I think is a culprit here, and I think one of the culprits is the stutter step. And as a coach, I cannot stand the stutter step. And I've seen it creep down into the high school ranks now because, again, kids will mimic what they see professionals doing. I think it's maybe the worst run up for taking a PK that you can do. And so I guess in a way I was kind of happy to see so many PKs fail in this World Cup because I'm hoping to be able to say to the youngins, this is what you should not be trying to do when you're doing your PKs. So that was one of my takeaways that I got when I was watching this World Cup is the epidemic of stutter step ups to take the kick. Just step up and blast it into a corner, and how do you do?
That's right.
Oh, you got something, Will? Sorry.
Well, may I? You were just right on. We talked to a fella from Barcelona, and they work for the last decade, from 9-year-olds till first team. They all train alike.
Amazing.
Yes, and that takes over at Spain, because a lot of what Barcelona does comes from Spain, Barcelona. The whole idea was everybody, you want to be a standard player, this is how you play. You don't have to worry about what system you play, whatever. You just do this, that, and boom, 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 blah, blah, bang. So all those plays that they have done since they were 9 years old. And, the proof is in the pudding. And then they're the only team that's ever won the men's and women's World Cup in the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Spain's got it rolling right now.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Wales, you've convinced me to maybe skip to my fifth one now because I think it might fit better, the transition here. I think also, and obviously the U.S. petered out a couple weeks ago, but if you've been on social media in the last couple of weeks, all you've heard is what's wrong with the American system now, what can we do, and there's all this stuff. And I think a very common theme is the pay-to-play, and everyone's anti-pay-to-play. And I'll be honest, to me, that's not the number one issue.
Right.
I don't think pay-to-play is what's holding America back. However, what you just said really resonates with me. I think one of the biggest issues is America, the U.S. Soccer Federation, not doing enough to get a unified pyramid in America. And so what that has bred in America is a very fragmented system where we don't have, what is America style?
Yeah.
All right. It's different everywhere. I mean, you could go from St. Louis to Texas and it's very different. So that is a failure of our soccer federation. And I think if you want to find a place to start, I think it goes to what you just talked about, how there needs to be a unified system where we are able to identify talent at an early age and get our best players playing an American style, whatever style that's going to be, so that by the time they reach 18 plus, they're ready to rock on the world stage. Because it's not that we lack talent and it's not that we lack good coaches, and it's none of that. We just have too much fragmentation that's going on. And I think, to further this point and kind of bring it into our high school situation, I don't think the Champions League that we represent here, I don't think any of us would say that we are anti-club at all. So I want to be very careful and clear to any listener. This is not, a high school versus club type environment.
Correct.
However, I think where the fight is right now in this kind of tug of war has to do with the expansion of academy that has been, in my eyes, very cynical. And what I've really talked about a lot, and what I fear happening is, academy systems for the one percenters. I think everyone would say yes, of course. Like, we all agree with that. But when you're trying to expand this to get 10 percenters, it's not like the fall of America is not because our system is not open enough. That's not really the issue. And so right now, when you have academies trying to tell 10% players, like the top 10% players, instead of the top 1%, that they're not able to play high school, I have a real problem with that. And I really think it is to the detriment of a lot of our young players that they are missing out on such a cool experience of playing high school. And part of that lies in the fact that we are so fragmented. So if U.S. Soccer could actually put together a legit pyramid system where high school would be somewhere in that pyramid, I think things would go so much more smoothly for U.S. Soccer. And so, yeah, I think, what you just brought up about Spain from a young age, I think that really speaks to our system a lot.
Well, I'm going to try it one more time. All right? Is about the show business. You have a musical, and you're off Broadway or you're on Broadway, and sometimes shows. Hey man, you just don't have it, sailor. And he said, "Well, damn it, let's go. Let's do it anyhow." And people walk out before intermission on Broadway. So
right.
you would have been a pretty good hit on off Broadway. But when you're on Broadway, man, you got to meet that standard or you got to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah. I mean, the analogy is good. I think the analogy works. And that's a big issue right now. And I think because I'm in that high school world, I see that fallout a lot right now with our high school age kids. And then I'm going to circle back to the World Cup for my last point. So I'm watching these games, obviously great. I wish the World Cup was every year. What an awesome month it's been watching soccer. But then, there are times when I'm watching the game and sometimes I flip it, like there are maybe some things that we're doing right on the high school level that I wish professional levels would learn from.
Yeah.
And one of the things is I'm watching with my kids and my son's like, "Dad, why are they always flopping around?" And I'm kind of laughing. And the rules in professional soccer lend itself for a lot of time wasting. And I looked up just to see how much time we're wasting in a soccer game. Did you know, I mean, this number is crazy. Only 55% of the game is the ball actually in play in soccer.
Yeah.
Brutal. So you got the games, because of the hydration breaks and the extra time this year, games averaged 96 minutes this year. Out of those 96, only 53 minutes of the ball in play. I mean, that's bad. That's not going to grow the game of soccer, I don't think. And so when I look at actually the high school game, some things that I think we get right, when a kid goes down injured, they stop the clock. So there is zero incentive to flail around on the ground. You're not going to. There's no time wasting there. The clock stops. All right, flail around all you want, because there's no time running off. I mean, what an easy fix that would be in the professional game to just stop the clock for that. The time wasting of substitutions. Again, in the high school game, in the final 5 minutes, they just, all right, you want to sub? We're going to stop the clock. So again, take as much time as you want, but you're not going to be wasting any time here. When a trainer comes on the field, you have to sub off. All right, so all of these things that I actually think the high school game gets right in keeping the action on the field, that when I watch the professional game of the World Cup, I'm like, oh, this actually makes it not enjoyable to watch soccer.
Yeah.
When you've got all of this time wasting going on. So those were some of the kind of my World Cup summations when after coming out of this month-long fog of watching all these games. And I'm going to miss it. The World Cup is special. 4 years from now, we'll all be tuned in again. But I think overall, this was a great experience. I think America, which I don't think this was like '94, where in '94, like, soccer was very foreign to everyone. I feel like soccer was already big, but I think it did help grow the game here by having it in America, and I'm hopeful we move forward.
Well, it's been a thrill, goosebumps actually, of reliving the World Cup with you through your eyes of soccer IQ. And I can't help but to say, even in the best of times, Dave, players only really had the ball on they controlled 100%, 3 or 4 minutes of a match.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And so it's what you do off the ball, but all this nonsense, you don't. You're working down with only 55 minutes.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I mean, it's like, come on, guys, you got all these world class athletes. Let's play. Let's actually see you play soccer.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And lastly, I may add, for PKs, I'm with you. I do not like that stutter stuff. I'd rather have a guy run up, do a turn, a flip, or whatever they call that thing, like that skaters do, twist,
Yeah.
a twirl, and land, and then hit the ball with their heel into the goal. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, man, do something. But this kind of stuff, yeah, and all kinds of rules, in goalkeeperville about, hey, look at the hips. It's all about the hips. Or, yeah, yeah. And it was a lot of times just stay in the middle. And so,
Right.
the ball will hit you.
Well, and I feel like sometimes, especially when Americans are like thinking of rule changes, the outcry is, oh, Americans trying to change soccer. And I'm like, listen, soccer has changed rules many times.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
yeah.
old enough to remember when you could throw the ball into the goalie and they could use their hands. And you know how much time that wasted. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we have this sacred sport that cannot be improved. And, I think most people that watch soccer would agree, like, there are things that can be tweaked here that would add to the enjoyment of the game.
Absolutely, Dave. And thanks for the food for thought, man. We'll be talking about it around Soccer Town all day long for the whole week. He started us off good. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the United States Starting 11, High School Champions League Starting 11 with Dave Aronberg and Kevin Whalen, ladies and gentlemen. So long.
All right.
Dave.
Have a good week.